I'm here with Alexander Mercouris, editor-in-chief of the Duran. Alexander, I'm walking through the streets of Central Seville, and it's very appropriate for me to be here right now, Alexander, because we're going to talk about Spain and the recent elections. So, Alexander, how are you doing today in London, first off?
I'm doing very well. I wish I was in Spain enjoying what I'm sure is better weather than what we're getting here. It's very dark and gloomy in London.
So far it's good, Alexander. So let me tell you, I'm here and the vibe is good after the elections, and you'll get into the detail of what's going on. I was watching a TV show the other day, Alexander, and they had, I believe he's the chief spokesman for Vox, Ivan Monteros. And if our viewers don't know, the Vox, the party, which has been in existence for a very short time, propelled themselves to third place in these elections, a huge outcome. I think it was the big news of the elections. And the question that they presented to Monteros, who's the spokesman, and Santiago Abascal is the leader of Vox, they asked Monteros this. They said, "Are you a populist nationalist party?" And Monteros' response was real interesting. He says, "If listening to the will of the people and what the people want is nationalist or populist, then so be it." So, Alexander, with that comment from Monteros, what do you make of the Spanish elections and the outcome there?
Well, I think this is an earthquake because, of course, Spain has for years been the country that's been heavily dominated and influenced by the long shadow of the dictatorship of General Franco that was established during the Civil War. So it has been extremely difficult to break through the political system that was created in the immediate post-Franco era, which saw a domination of Spain by a centre-left party, the Socialist Party, and by a centre-right party, which has been the dominant party in Spain for all of these years. Those two parties have fought themselves to a standstill. They are becoming very, very unpopular, or increasingly unpopular. They're finding it impossible by themselves to form governments. They're struggling even to find viable coalition partners. But what nobody, I think, expected in Spain was that out of nowhere, a party, the Vox Party, should come forward and break through in this spectacular fashion. And as you rightly say, the fact that they are not prepared to dispute the fact that they are a nationalist party is enormously, it's electrifying for Spain. Because, of course, Franco, when he fought the Civil War in the 1930s, described himself, labelled himself a nationalist, and that has made any kind of association with nationalism in Spain since his death incredibly difficult. So now we have a party that is not afraid to be called nationalist, and it's broken through, and it has come third.
All right, Alexander, we had news the other day that the Socialist Party, which dropped, I believe, around like 20 or 25 seats in this election, and Pedro Sánchez and Iglesias from Podemos have formed a government, even though it's a minority government. What do you make of that outcome? What does that signal to you?
I think that is unsurprising, but I doubt that it's going to be viable. Can I just say, this election was called by Sánchez. I think he must be bitterly regretting having done it. I think he was foolish enough to believe, after the previous election a few months ago, which had failed to give him a strong majority, that he would be able to surf forward to a much stronger position. And instead what happened was that both the Socialists and Podemos dropped votes. Now, Podemos used to be the great insurgent party in Spain, the party that had positioned itself rather like Syriza in Greece as the vote of the left and of the anti-establishment party. I think what has done for Podemos is that more and more people in Spain have come to the conclusion that, in fact, it is an establishment party, despite the fact that he pretends to be otherwise. And very much like Syriza in Spain, it is now the subject of this major anti-establishment backlash that we're starting to see across Europe. And when I say the establishment, I obviously mean the European establishment, because one of the other features of modern Spain is that the political leadership of Spain, of all the major parties, including the Socialist Party, including Podemos, have been extremely loyal and highly integrated within the European Union. Vox represents a challenge to this. It does not perceive of itself as a Europeanist party.
Yeah, I believe that Abascal got the congratulations from Salvini and Le Pen. I think they were the first two people to congratulate him on what really was a huge victory for Vox. Alexander, Vox propelled itself to third place, mainly on a platform of, number one, immigration, which is very much in line with Salvini and Le Pen, and even Farage and the Brexit Party. A lot of these parties which are pushing back on Merkel's immigration policy, her European immigration policy. So that was number one. And number two, which is a very hot button issue, very controversial, is that Vox got themselves to third place with their stance on Catalonia and what happened there. What do you make of the strategy of Vox? Is it sustainable to be a party on these two policy fronts? Can they keep themselves at third and maybe even get themselves to be the major party in Spain?
Well, I think to become the major party in Spain is going to be an enormous challenge, but I still expect Vox to grow. I mean, they've achieved a breakthrough, and you talk about these two issues, Catalonia and immigration. Let's turn to the subject of immigration first. I think this subject is very widely misunderstood and very widely misreported. I think that it is very often perceived as a somehow xenophobic, almost racist position. But what I think people are challenging when they talk about immigration across Europe is this absolute dogma that the European Union has established of free movement within the Union. It is considered one of the four pillars of the European Union. And that has been perceived by many people across the European Union as challenging their social and economic rights, so that, for example, a company in Spain can undercut the wages of Spanish workers by bringing in cheaper workers from Poland, and the European Court of Justice will say, irrespective of whatever regulations may exist in Spain, to try to protect that position, for example, through minimum wage regulations, the European Court of Justice will say that that is fully legal in accordance with European law. So immigration, the subject of immigration, falls squarely within the subject of taking back control, which is what we hear people talk about in Italy, in Spain, in Britain, and of course in France. And that's where I think this immigration issue comes from. So it is in effect a position of defending our own rights within our own country and having our own democratic leaders accountable to ourselves. Given that the European Union is not prepared to retreat on this position, I think that is going to remain a strong position going forward for all of these parties. Now, as for Catalonia, this comes back directly to the fundamental issue of how you define Spain. Is Spain a single country, a nation, if you will, made up obviously of its various groups and ethnicities, historical groups and ethnicities which have existed within the Iberian Peninsula, or is it a loose confederation of different nations which are all breaking apart from each other as they wish, and which would ultimately threaten the whole concept of Spanish nationhood? Unsurprisingly, as a nationalist party, Vox is opposed to the second. It's opposed to the idea of secessionist groups gaining strength in places like Catalonia. And whilst this issue of Catalonia remains unresolved, again, I think you will see Vox continue to grow in strength.
All right, Alexander Mercouris, one final comment from me here in Andalusia, Seville, Spain, is that this has traditionally been, I think, more of a liberal, creative kind of part of Spain. But I think there's definitely a rise in support for Vox from what I'm seeing. Whether it stays or not, I don't know. I think only time will tell, but I think your assessment is spot on, Alexander Mercouris, editor-in-chief of the Duran. Thank you very much, Alexander. Guys, if you like this video, click on that subscribe button down below. Click on that notifications bell. Go to Soundcloud and get an audio copy of this video on iTunes. And on Soundcloud, I already said Soundcloud, I'll say it again. And donate to us on PayPal, Patreon, and Subscribe Star. Your donation helps keep this channel up and running. And of course, check us out on Telegram. We post everything on Telegram. Everything that we're doing is going on to Telegram, so please subscribe there. And check out Duran Video and BitChute, where we are able to post our videos and say what we want freely without any fear of censorship. Alexander, also, we have the Duran shop. Go, take it away, Alexander.
As you can see, I'm drinking from my Duran mug, keeping me warm on this cold day, dark day in London, wet day in London, drinking royal blend tea from it. And as you can also see, I'm wearing my long-sleeved Duran 100% cotton t-shirt. These are absolutely great products, which you will find on our shop. You will find other amazing products also. You will find short-sleeve t-shirts, polo shirts, very smart and elegant polo shirts, short-sleeve t-shirts, V-neck shirts, hoodies, hats, stickers, all kinds of great things. Our competitors are very jealous and they're trying to copy them. So help yourself, go to the Duran, own the real thing, get yourself really high quality products and help the Duran also. Alex will tell you how to do it.
Go to the duranshop.com. The link is in the description box down below. Alexander Mercouris, editor-in-chief of the Duran. Thank you very much. Until next time, everybody, take care.